Quick question. Think back to the last time your income went up. A raise, a new job, a better month. Remember the feeling. Finally some breathing room. Now be honest, how long did it last? A month? 2? Because for almost everyone, the breathing room vanishes. And you end up exactly where you started. Same stress, same empty account by the 28th. Just bigger numbers. There's a reason for this. It's not discipline, it's not lattes, and it's not your fault. It's a trap with a name. And by the end of this video, I'm gonna give you 2 numbers. The first is a disturbing little statistic that proves this trap is real. The second is the single most important number in your entire financial life. The one that actually decides whether you'll ever be free. And here's the twist. It is not your salary. Stay with me. This channel is about the hidden machinery of money, the quiet rules that keep smart, hard-working people running in place. If your balance never grows, no matter what you earn, you're in the right place. Subscribe. We're taking this apart, piece by piece. Let's start where it always starts, the raise. Picture a guy, call him Joe. Joe lands a raise 20% more every single month. He does the math on the drive home, and for about a week he feels untouchable. The smart move is obvious, save the difference. But Joe doesn't. Nobody does. Instead, something quieter happens. He upgrades. The $1,200 apartment becomes a $2,000 one. Because he earned it, right? The reliable old car becomes a $600 a month lease. The $15 lunch becomes $40 dinners, a few nights a week. A weekend trip because I deserve a break. A new phone he didn't really need. None of it feels reckless. Each step is small. Each step feels deserved. And here's what Joe doesn't notice. His expenses didn't rise a little. They rose to swallow the raise whole, and then a little bit more. 6 months later, Joe earns more than he ever has in his life, and somehow has less left over at the end of the month than before. Joe isn't reckless, Joe is normal. That's the terrifying part. This is the default setting. What happened to Joe has a name, lifestyle creep, and underneath it is something psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. Here's the idea. Humans adapt to almost anything. There's even a term for it. Your set point. A new apartment, a new car, a bigger salary. At first it feels incredible. Then your brain quietly resets to neutral, and the thrill becomes your new normal. Think about your own phone. Day 1, it felt like magic. A month later, it's just a phone. And you're already annoyed it's a little slow. That quiet reset is happening to every upgrade you buy. So you reach for the next one to feel the lift again. You run faster. The treadmill speeds up to match. And you end up standing in exactly the same place, just paying more to stand there. Which is why, and this still gets me, a person earning $40,000 a year and a person earning $120,000 can lie awake at night staring at the same ceiling, gripped by the same fear, money. The income tripled, the fear didn't move an inch, because the fear was never about the number coming in. It was about the gap between what comes in and what goes out. And for most people, that gap never grows. And here's the cruel part. The treadmill only runs one way. Once you've lived bigger, smaller feels like going backwards, like failure. The luxuries you added quietly turned into needs. The leased car, the food delivery, the dozen subscriptions you forgot you had. They stopped being treats and became the floor you stand on. So now you need more money just to feel normal, not rich, normal. Then there's comparison. You don't measure your life against your own past. You measure it against the people around you. Get a raise, move into a slightly nicer world, where everyone has slightly nicer things. So you feel poor again. And it's worse than that. The people you're comparing yourself to just leveled up too. Everybody on the treadmill, everybody comparing, and the finish line sprinting away from all of them at once. And the math is brutal. A 30% raise feels life-changing. But if your spending climbs 35% to meet it, you didn't get richer. You just bought a more expensive kind of broke. So let me hand you that second number now. The one that actually decides your financial future. It is not your income. It is not your net worth. It's your savings rate. The share of what you earn that you actually keep. And here's why it's everything. Take two people on wildly different salaries. The one who keeps a bigger slice wins every time. A teacher who keeps 20% of her income will end up richer and freer than a surgeon who keeps 2% of his. The salary is loud. The savings rate is what's actually driving. I'll show you the exact, almost unfair math in a minute. But first, you need to see the proof that chasing income alone is a dead end. The proof is the lottery. Winners get the ultimate raise. Instant, enormous, no work required. And studies that followed them found that within just a few years, most were no happier than before. And a startling share ended up broke. People handed millions, right back to zero. If unlimited money can't outrun this trap, then earning more was never the escape. Which brings us straight back to that savings rate and the math I promised you. But before the fix, understand this: you are not weak, you are outgunned. An entire system is built to keep you spending. Every ad you see exists to do one job: reset your baseline, to make what you already have feel like not enough. Credit and buy now, pay later stripped away the last bit of friction. You don't even need the money to spend it anymore. You feel the want, and it's done. Subscriptions are engineered to be invisible, small, automatic, forgotten, quietly bleeding you in the background. And most people underestimate what they spend on them by hundreds a month. And Treat Yourself got rebranded as self-care. So guilt itself became a reason to spend. None of this is an accident. Your overspending is somebody's quarterly target. The treadmill has a sales team. So here's the escape. And it's almost insultingly simple, which is exactly why it works. The next time your income rises, do the one thing the treadmill is betting you won't. Keep your life exactly the same. Let the raise pass straight into savings before you ever feel it in your hands. Automate it. Pay yourself first on payday, automatically, so the money is gone before you can spend it. Then audit the baseline you already have. Every silent subscription, every need that used to be a want, question it. Each one you cut doesn't just save money, it lowers the bar of what you need to feel okay. And here's the math I promise, the savings rate magic. Keep 10% of what you earn, and it takes roughly a whole working life to be free. Keep 25% and you cut decades off that. Keep 50%. Live on half, save half, and a typical earner can reach financial independence in around 17 years, from zero. Not because they earned more, because the gap between what they earned and what they needed did all the work. That gap is the only thing that has ever made anyone free. You don't have to earn more to escape. You have to want less than you earn. Get that one gap working in your favor, and for the first time, the treadmill starts moving the other way, quietly building something instead of quietly draining you. So the next time a raise tempts you to upgrade your whole life, remember two numbers: the lottery winners, proof that more money was never the answer, and your savings rate, the number that actually is. Keep your life the same just long enough to get ahead of the treadmill. If this changed how you see your money, share it with someone still chasing the next raise to fix everything. And if you learned something, please consider subscribing.